Oh, hi everyone, this is Sean again, and today is a very special episode. This is the Canon EOS R5. Like many of you, I've been really excited and eagerly waiting for this camera, and I was very lucky and privileged that Canon gave me the opportunity to test it out for a few hours before returning it. So there is still a lot of unknowns, but what I'll be doing is I'll be sharing the menu system so we can go through it together, my observations, as well as 8K raw footage if I'm permitted to show it. Alright, let's check it out. Okay, in the movie record quality page, you have three options. One is the resolution, the high frame rate where you can access 100 or 120 FPS, and 4K HQ mode is for higher data rate for H.265. Now in the actual movie record size page, you have 5 flavors, and 8K DCI is the one with most things. You have 25p, 24p and RAW, as well as 2 flavors of H.265. But after you switch to 8K UHD, you realize you only are left with 25p and no more RAW. And switching to 4K DCI, you now get 50p access in uncropped, as well as 25 and 24p, but sadly there's no RAW. And 4K UHD, you lose the 24p and no RAW as well. And in Full HD, you have no 24p, no RAW, and one additional IPB compress. Now moving to the high frame rate, you will notice that in my menu you can only see 100 FPS, and that's because my camera is set to PAL. If you are set to NTSC, you would be able to access the 120 FPS, and like many other cameras, it doesn't record sound. And for 4K HQ mode, it is basically to have a higher data rate, and you can see there's 4K, there's an additional fine under that button. Now this camera comes with C-Log, but it's unclear whether it's C-Log 1 or C-Log 2, because C-Log 1 is actually optimized for 8-bit. And as you can see here, we have the color matrix. When you select EOS Original, you have nothing much to set. The color space is stuck at 709, but if you select Neutral, you will be able to select 2020, which is supposed to be the white gamut and supposedly of higher quality. So the R5 comes with a built-in time-lapse mode, and gives you the interval, timing, number of shots, and this auto exposure, basically able to use the first fixed frame or subsequent frames. And the final output can be a 8K UHD video. It also tells you the time taken to complete video and also the duration of the time lapse. Next, we come to the HDR mode, and there's this PQ setting, which is basically ST2084 for HDR. I'm not very familiar with HDR at this moment because I don't have a display, but seems that this camera does support that. And this camera comes with built-in optical IS for the first time. And this is very interesting. It's supposed to be able to stabilize a few stops. I think it's 3, I'm not sure. And I didn't really have time to try the digital IS, but in my test, the optical IS worked pretty well. And there's also an overheat control, and from my understanding, that overheat control is really for the 8K mode. Next, we have peaking as well. Finally, peaking on a EOS mirrorless. Now this is raw processing and DP raw. I don't know what's that, but I think that's for images. Lastly, for Wi-Fi connection, it has both 2.4 and 5 GHz transmission, and this is probably handy for situations where 2.4 is really busy.
My initial impressions of the R5 is very good. Ergonomics wise, it is very similar to the original EOS R. I feel that it has a deeper grip, and I'm very happy they replaced that finicky touch bar with this joystick. Below here you see is a new battery grip design, and they have also redesigned the battery to have 3 watt-hour higher capacity compared to the original. Now coming to video, 8K. There are 2 flavors of 8K, 8K DCI and 8K UHD. 8K DCI is the only format that has RAW. You can have a choice of H.264 and H.265 for everything else. I'm a bit surprised, to be honest, that they did not enable 4K RAW. I don't know why, but this is a prototype, and I hope that they will include it in the future, because not everybody needs 8K at this point of time. I do have to share that 8K RAW is a real pain to edit right now. I cannot get it to work even with proxy files in Resolve, but I did manage to get it working in Premiere Pro CC, but it's still a painful process to have to generate proxies. H.265 is the same. I still need to generate proxies, and I have some strange color space issues with the thumbnail in Resolve and Premiere at this point of time. But bear in mind, this is a prototype that I have, so when the actual unit comes at the end of July, I'm sure it will be fixed. Other than that is C-Lock. C-Lock, as usual, is fantastic. I like it that it has the option to choose the neutral color and BT 2020. It actually looks pretty good. One thing though I'm confused is that there's C-Lock and C-Lock 2 and C-Lock 3. In the menu, you only see the word C-Lock, so I'm presuming that it's C-Lock 1, but C-Lock 1 was originally optimized for 8-bit. But if you're running H.265, it's considered 10-bit, so I'm a bit confused here. I don't know the answer. Maybe if you do, leave it in the comments below. But I have to say it still looks pretty good. I really don't have enough time to play with the camera, but this is just to give a very early sharing of what I've observed. So I hope this has been useful, and hopefully I have a chance to do an in-depth review further down the road. Till the next time, bye bye.